Athletes like LeBron James and Bryce Harper are considered to be some of the best high school athletes ever. Dominant, pro-ready, once-in-a-generation talents. But now, there's a new kid in town. And what he just did at the USA Track and Field Championships didn't just make headlines. It shattered the barrier between being one of the best high school athletes and being one of the best athletes, period. His name, Cooper Lutkenhaus. His event, the 800 meters. One of the most brutal races in track and field. And his time, 1:42.27. Before Cooper Lutkenhaus was running 142s on national television, he was just a kid in Texas, lacing up his spikes and shocking people at local meets. By age 14, he was already splitting sub-150s on relays. Coaches whispered about his potential, but even then, nobody saw this coming. In his freshman year, he ran 148.32, the fastest ever by a 14-year-old in the United States. At 15, he dropped it to 1:45.88, setting a new national sophomore class record and dominating older athletes at prestigious meets like the Brooks PR Invitational and Nike Outdoor Nationals. It wasn't just the times, it was how he did it. Smooth, tactical, no wasted movement. He wasn't out there trying to front run every race or muscle through his splits. Lutkenhaus raced like a veteran. He let others take it out fast, sat on them through 500 meters, and then exploded. Later on, in his sophomore year, he was undefeated in open 800s and started showing range in other events. 46-second 400s, low 4 minutes in the mile, and whispers of a sub 144 coming soon. But that wasn't what made him different. What made Lutkenhaus special was his consistency. Rain, wind, hot conditions, fast heats, slow heats, it didn't matter. You knew he'd give you a fast time and a smart race every single weekend. He also started catching attention internationally. World Athletics ranked him as the top U18 800 meter athlete in the world by early 2025. The Kenyan Federation sent scouts, European meet directors started reaching out to his coaches, and brands Nike, Adidas, and Puma all quietly started circling. By the time he toed the line at USATF in June 2025, he was already a prodigy. But after that race, he became a legend. At the 2025 USATF Outdoor Championships, Lutkenhaus lined up in the men's 800 meter final. Not the junior final, not U18, the real thing. With pros with Olympic experience on either side of him, he was the youngest guy on the track by at least 5 years. And somehow, he held his own. The gun goes off. 400 meters in, 49 flat. He's sitting in third, the kind of place you expect a teen to fall apart from. But instead, he surged. With 250 meters to go, he made a move that looked reckless and then kept going. Smooth arms, perfect upright form. He didn't fade, he didn't panic. He just closed. And when he crossed the line, 1:42.27. A time so fast it forced officials to double check, then triple check. But it held, and just like that, Cooper Lutkenhaus ran the second fastest 800 meter by an American this year, behind only Donovan Brazier's 1:42.16. He beat Bryce Hoppel, Josh Hoey, Brandon Miller, guys who've worn Team USA on their chests for years. He's now tied for number 17 all-time in the world at 16 years old. Let me say that again, top 20 in the world as a sophomore in high school. His time doesn't just crush the high school national record, it would also place him comfortably in the Olympic final. In fact, it's better than several medal-winning times in past Olympic years. It's faster than what David Rudisha ran in many of his Diamond League victories. It's world-class, plain and simple. Even more impressive, he was running against professionals who are peaking in their mid to late 20s. Their bodies are fully developed, their race experience years ahead, and yet none of that seemed to matter. Not in this race. It's not just that Cooper Lutkenhaus won't be running in college, it's that he doesn't need to. Nike, Adidas, New Balance, they're all calling. The World Championships are this fall in Tokyo, and Cooper may have just earned his ticket. How many kids can say that their summer vacation might involve racing on the global stage in a Team USA kit? It's one thing to break records. It's another to redefine the standard, not just in your age group, but against the very best your sport has to offer. So how does Cooper Lutkenhaus compare to the greatest high school athletes in history? Let's start with the usual suspects. LeBron James was already being televised nationally in high school.
Not just any high school game, it's phenom LeBron James against the #1 ranked team in the country, Oak Hill.
At 18, he was the #1 pick in the NBA draft and was already competing with bros. Bryce Harper made the cover of Sports Illustrated at 16, got his GED, and played JUCO baseball to fast track into the MLB. Zion Williamson didn't just dominate games, he broke social media. Generating millions of views with highlight reel dunks that looked like something out of NBA 2K. And then you have freak athletes like Bo Jackson, who won state titles in 3 different sports and might have been the best pound-for-pound high school athlete ever, until now. Because here's the difference. None of them were already world-class at the professional level while still in high school. Cooper Lutkenhaus is. Track and field is one of the few sports where the stopwatch doesn't lie. There's no draft projection, no hype machine, no highlight bias. It's just you, the clock, and the competition. And Lutkenhaus didn't just post a fast time. He ran a 142.27 in the 800 meters. A time that, if you plug it into actual Olympic history, produces results that are hard to believe. Let's go chronologically here. At the 2004 Athens Olympics, that time wins gold. At Beijing 2008, it wins gold again. At Rio 2016, he earned silver, finishing behind only the great David Rudisha. At the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, held in 2021 because of, but Lutkenhaus 142.27 wins gold, topping Emmanuel Corrier and Ferguson Rotich. And at the 2024 Paris Olympics, just 1 year ago, the most stacked 800-meter field of the last decade. That time still puts him 7th in the world at age 16. Let that sink in. We're not just saying he's good for his age. We're not just saying he's good for his event. We are saying he would have been an Olympic medalist in multiple eras of the sport. Across 2 decades of competition, from Kip Ketir to Bengay to Corrier. And for people unfamiliar with how fast 142.27 really is, let's convert it to some other events. It's the 800 meter equivalent of running 9.79 seconds in the 100 meters, or 19.58 in the 200, 43.7 in the 400, and around 345.3 in the mile. These are world-class professional level marks. Some of them are faster than what actual Olympic champions have run. So imagine a high schooler dropping a 43.7 in the 400 or a 9.79 in the 100 meter at your local meet. That's what Lutkenhaus just did. In real life, at a national championship, this isn't just generational talent. This is global, historical, record-breaking talent. All from a high school sophomore. Cooper Lutkenhaus isn't competing with other high schoolers anymore. He's being measured against greatness and winning. So, is he the greatest high school athlete of all time? The short answer, yes. Let's be clear, this isn't a popularity contest. This is about performance, objective, measurable, global level performance. Nobody in American high school sports history has ever run a time, thrown a ball, or scored a point that places them top 20 in the world in history as a sophomore. LeBron was great, Harper was great, Zion was great, but none of them were already at the Olympic level while still wearing a high school jersey. And Lutkenhaus is doing it in a sport where times don't lie. There's no subjective ranking, no draft projection, no inflated highlight reel again. Just the clock and the competition. And he beat both. We don't know what's next for Cooper Lutkenhaus, whether he turns pro, heads to Worlds, or just goes back to training in silence. But one thing is for sure, he's no longer just a rising star, he's a name that's going to be remembered for a long, long time. Because at 16 years old, he didn't just make history, he changed the standard. Sub up because there's a lot more coming.